Right. There we go. Daniel, be quiet. Just we had trouble with these, didn't we? I remember now. That was a problem. So, welcome back, everybody. I know it's only been a few minutes since I've done the last video, but I really wanted to get something more done with this. I've just done a little bit of a test fit off, not live, just to see how it is going together. Make sure all these bulkheads and that are in a good position for getting things glued together. Excuse me a minute, Daniel. I think there's another dog barking out there. It sets him off. So we'd reached the point where we'd got to put these in, this engine in, and it was a bit of a pain, as I recall. A few people have had ideas on what to do and how best to approach it. First things first is to take this tape off. Let's get that off. Now, fortunately, I'm told it's not just me. This is a bit finicky at the front. So I think I might be best attaching these so that's got to go there, and that goes on there, and that goes up there like that. That's not the problem. That's not the issue. The issue is getting this seated right. Because it doesn't actually, it's not supposed to go in them guides according to the drawing, which them guides don't appear to be any good for anything. Right, let's get this seated in. I used Tamiya glue before and I didn't have much luck, so this time I'm actually going to use some super glue on the join and see whether because the minute I started moving it about to try and fit it, as it were, it literally all fell apart. So I'm hoping to get a little bit of strength where I had none before. Right, so let's get let us get a cap out and some glue. We'll use some Bob Smith Industries Instacure. Incidentally, if anyone's watching this that has a pair that they bought at the same time that they're now selling of Samsung DDR4 memory for a laptop, SODIMM HP laptop, the laptop number is 15BS 150 SA, and they're looking to sell them, can you get in touch? Because I'm thinking of upgrade. I need to upgrade my laptop, and it's got one 4GB module in, but I need at least two, and but I need two that are paired, that were bought at the same time, the same sequence preferably. I mean, it's not essential. If somebody's got a pair and they're going at the right price. Just putting a pin down the nozzle to. Got to be careful with this, because sometimes there's a little bit of pressure builds up inside, and the minute you pierce the hole, a load of super glue comes flying out. Like it's just in there. Sticking everything together. Yes, like that. Ooh. Now I've got them little lumps of super glue on my fingertips for the next few days until they peel off. I'll use some of that. So I've got some acetone, which I could try in a minute. Let's just pull that out. My applicator that I made. Let's bring this up a little bit. Let's just burn off the just move that fan over. There's a little bit in there. Just need to open the prongs a little bit. They've there we go. There we go. Right. Oops. Let's just go back in there now. Run a little bit of glue. Just opened in a bit too much now. And a small pair of, let's use these. Just to close them. And then we'll come to the back here where it goes into the bulk head. And we're going to put a little piece on the back of the hole. This is where it feeds through because the hole goes all the way through. And we'll put a little piece on the front as well. And just to strengthen it up down here also. Now we're going to leave that to cure. I know it says insta-cure, but it's probably wise to leave it for about 5 minutes before I start applying any sort of force to it. One viewer. Well, it is middle of the day Tuesday, so lots of people will be at work. Now then, according to the drawing, this fits over like so. You'd think there would be, they'd put some way of locating it, some groove, recess, just so you know exactly where it goes, but there's nothing. There is absolutely nothing that says, you know, I go here. The best I can do is position that. No, and that definitely doesn't go like that. So it does go more or less like that. Got to hope that this doesn't all fall apart. No, not that way. So very carefully, I think it must go like that. Except that doesn't look right from the front. It's straight. And when you push that in, that would look right. And that goes in. So when it's got a little bit of weight on it, do I really want to risk gluing that in and getting it wrong? That's the trouble. Right, let's come along with this. along there. So that has to sit forward like that. Has to sit forward like that. I've been told that. Okay, so that goes in. The engine aligns. Either side of that by the looks of it. Come on. No, this is not playing ball at all. Not playing ball at all. Let's take that out a minute. Let's just take that out and put this in and see. So the engine doesn't want to. I think that engine is supposed to push up against there, and they are supposed to slot in them gaps like that. But for some reason, that is not fitting. Instructions, let me have a look forward. Let's go forward and have a look. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Rob. Attach the framework to the engine. The problem is I can't glue the framework until I know exactly where it's going to sit. Am I right in thinking, Rob, just asking you a question here, that this piece here, this framework embeds itself around that, so it sits around that, because I think this probably needs filing out a little bit and this needs thinning out, because when you slot that in, that has to go there at the front. So initially, when you first put this in, when you've got it lined up at the front, this starts to follow that pattern there. But because there's no room, it's not pushing itself in there. I think that needs to sort of sit in so that it all sort of is flush. That's what I'm thinking. And the other thing is this at the bottom. Is this piece here, is this meant to be out like that? So I'm just taking the top Rolls Royce cover off there a minute, because I think might get a better feel for how that goes. Unless that is meant to thread through there. No, that can't be right, because that would be like that. So let's go right there. So that fits over there like that. Now that looks to be right there. Right, thanks, Rob. So you attached this front piece here. You glued this piece onto this piece first. Yeah? Right. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'll do then. I'm beginning to wonder if I even need this piece. I'm guessing it's there as some sort of support. I could put it roughly in position, loose, glue that front on, like you suggest, and then I can come along and clip that in maybe. Just, as long as I've got it somewhere roughly right. I don't understand whether it's even worth putting that in, but it's very annoying. It's not an easy fit at all. Right, I think it goes something like that. I'm going to drop that in on top of that. So I'm taking a gamble with it, basically. You didn't put that in. No, yeah. Really am tempted not to, like you say. Right, let's try and get some glue on there. Let's get some glue in there. I might have to use some super glue just to tack it at the top. Right, come on. Sorry, I keep going off screen. It's just doesn't want to glue this. If I can get it to tack in one place, then I can start gluing in the other spots. Where's the other fuselage? Hold on a minute. Where's the other half gone? Yeah, so needs to come up on there a bit. We've got a join, a very little join there, not a great one, but it is holding. And I just want to give this one more go and see whether I can clip that in. Come on, you little bugger. Put that in there and in there. We have it in. So I'm thinking of maybe coming along and putting a bit of glue on that, because that does help support that a very little bit. Where are the tweezers gone? They might do. I don't know whether they're going to be strong enough though. Why is it modelling projects always require you to have lots of hands? Let's go in again. Patience is a virtue, they say. So right. Everything boils down to this very poorly explained clip here. the decision might have been taken out of my hands because I think it's just snapped. Right. Okay, I'm going to put some glue on that. I don't think that can go any other way. That's about the best way I've got it. Let me just go back, see whether yeah, I agree with what Rob's saying. Everything he says is right. It's overcomplicated. It is fiddly. You are better off just don't intend the areas to be seen and just get it in any way you can. But if I left that out, it would sit on that table the whole time I'm building, and it would just be a reminder of getting beaten. So hopefully I've put a bit of glue on it now, so that should hopefully just hold it in position, or help at the very least help keep this because all this engine is just glued in by this tiny little front section here. It's not even at the bottom because the bottom's different, so you can only glue the top in. Right, so that's roughly where I want that. Now then, I think we're ready for the two halves to go together. Now this will be interesting because we've got to there's another piece that goes on this side, which I think I'm going to put on now. So we're in the roughly the right position. Oh, that's handy. Does that glow? Well, it looks as though that could fit there. Actually on the engine on this side. That is, have a look. So that's that side. And then we come over, the engine sits in, yeah, I get that. Yes, it does. That sits on the engine now. So, right, okay. That's going to add a bit more support. Now, for some reason, it's saying chop the end of that off. Okay, let me see how much it's saying to chop off that. Yeah, it's saying to cut the end off the other side as well. I didn't do that. Oh, right. I wonder if that's now in the way. No, it doesn't appear to be. Progress is being made slowly. Right. Snippers. The white balance. I haven't got the settings for that on this at the moment. That is in the cameras. That's in the camera software, which I haven't done yet. I take it the auto white balance is not working properly then. It going all bluey, right? Okay. Yeah, I can see it on the screen. Well, hopefully in a minute, when we get the other half on. Mind you, the plastic has got a blue hue to it. It's, but I see what you mean. It's the rest of the model. Yeah, I can see it. I will. I'll get the software loaded in, the Logitech software loaded in, and see if I can get that sorted. So I'm going to push that forward a little bit. Right. Just get that out there a minute. But the coffee's gone cold now. To be honest, the auto white balance is normally really good on cameras. You don't normally have a problem with it. But there's so many factors at the moment. Yeah, I mean, I've got there's the daylight bulb on up there, and there's the fluorescent tubes on, and then I've got all the windows quite near me, and you've got daylight coming in there, and so it's really earning its keep, so to speak. I don't know if I'm getting if any of this is. There we go. That should have gone on. All right. Get in there. Get in there. Progress is being made. So that's that on now then. We glued one side in. Now let's try and this is on the border of being snapped. So I want to very gently move that round. Sorry, I'm off camera again. Let me just bring it up a little bit more. Let me just bring that down and bring that in there. I just need to come off at the front again. That's not a problem. Not a problem. Right. Let's get that in there. That in there. Right, let's get some tet on these joins to hold this in place. That in turn will strengthen that little crack. That is so basically this little U thing, which I have managed to get in, has cracked just in there. Now once the tet cures and these stiffen up, I'll be able to put a tiny little bit over that crack to sort of help meld it back together. If I go and put it on there now, it's just going to weaken that that hairline crack's just going to weaken all the way, and it's just going to snap in two. So that, you know, on trying to make the best of a bad job, really. And then I need to just put a little bit on there. Right. Yeah. Right. Right. So that's in there. That's on there. So we have got it in, and we've got the framework on. It's just got to put the other cover on there, which I don't know how well that's going to go. We've got a little tiny. Just looking here. There's a. I don't know what the purpose of all these little tiny notches are here. There's nothing for them to connect onto. I don't know whether they serve some purpose further along, but they certainly don't at the moment. Right, so let's see now. Let's see how the two halves go together. So it needs to come in at the front there. I wonder if those two there are meant to feed under these. There's a small gap underneath these two engine tops here. I'm wondering whether they're meant to go under and meet in the middle. Just looking through here, see the ridges there, that there, that goes on there. Engine comes in here. But they disappear then. They're there on that. And then you come down to here, they're not there, but it doesn't say to take them off. No, they can't, that can't be right. Got that snapped into place there. Let's get a bit of tape on that just to hold it. Right. And that comes in a little bit forward of that. So, come on. Right, that's got that. That's right there. There's something not right. There's definitely something not right. I can sand that back. I'm not too bothered about that, but this is all bowing here. This framework's not right. I can't help but think it has to go underneath them. These have to go underneath these. See what oh yeah, so Rob's saying he cut his off because they were fouling the cover. They're not. There's a couple of things wrong with them for a start. If they go over the cover like that, like they're supposed to, they're not long enough for a start. Because I think these on either side are supposed to go around them. I don't know why. I'm almost certain that's how, because when you push on them, they just fit so snugly there. But at the back there, then that can't be right, because that doesn't. And then again, they fit. It just fits right there. I don't think it's them that's causing this problem at the front, though. We've not got a very good fit there. I think we're going to end up having to chop some of this framework about. Maybe even chop it and scratch build a fresh bit of frame there. Definitely going to need some filler. So let's just get the other bulkheads in roughly where they're supposed to be. That comes forward. So that's in the right place there. That's in the right place there. Yeah, so that's that. And then we come back. That's in the right place. And this back one's in the right place. I'm going to need some tape on that as well. All right. Substantial amount of filler, methinks. Which is a pain because it's raised panel lines and rivets. Going to lose a lot of that detail to have to put back on. And then we come down to the back. Yeah, we've got a good fit there. So tape that while it's a good fit before we lose it. Now I have got landing gear that's got to go in there, so we're going to come forward actually and just tape that bit because I need to get access to this back piece just to put a bit of landing gear in. So the fuselage is now we've got a dry fit. The engine's not great. I'm very disappointed with the engine and the fit around that engine. I mean, it's extremely poor. Yeah, so I'm removing that one, and I'm removing this one, and please, before people start complaining that you know, I do state at the beginning I'm not a professional. I'm just learning like everyone else, and the channel is about me learning. And in this instance, Rob has done this kit, and I'm listening to what he's telling me, and he knows he can already tell that that's going to foul the cover that goes over the top. I knew this was going to be a bit of an issue on this kit. It's gone well up until now. So if anything, the engine's let it down slightly. Now they're out the way. Push down on that. I'm tempted to make another snip. And it would be on this corner here, so that these can fit in. Now I'm guessing there's some covers. Yeah, Model Making Guru is massive. I'm just going through the chat. It's an old one. It's old tooling, very old. I think it's almost Egyptian. So Joanna says this. I think this kit is supposed to be one of these evil, god awful, etc. kits. Yes, it is. I mean, many of you will know that have followed the channel. I had this bit of a spate where I disagreed with people using the term shit kits. And my ethos behind all that was that even though they're shit, they enable us to learn more in the hobby. So I always give the example: if you sat two people down that were both neither of them had done any modeling in their life, and then you gave one of them people Revel kits and Airfix kits for the year to build, and you gave the other person Bandai, Meng, all these beautiful kits that slot together fantastically. And then at the end of that year, as a test, you gave them both an average kit. I'm not sure what would qualify as average, but let's say one that does involve a little bit of thinking and that. The guy that's or lady that's been on the Revel kits all year, they're going to fly through it because yes, they do give us problems, and yes, you've got to sit down and it taxes the brain a little bit, but it's experience, and it's worth. I wouldn't change doing this kit. If I could go back to the beginning now, I wouldn't say I'm not going to do this kit because I know I'm going to have massive problems with the engine, because I'm learning. Um, it's not something I've come across before, and this will help me if ever I buy a resin engine set or something where I've got to think and you know and get things to fit. I know it's not resin, but this experience will help me go forward with that. And that's so, you know, I got into, you know, it is a bad kit. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's great, but you know, we've got to have them. They are needed. They help the hobby go on. The skills in the hobby go on. If the market was flooded with Bandai and that's all you ever built, it wouldn't take very long before a lot of the skills started becoming lost. Anyway, that's my 10 pence worth on it. Daniel, be quiet. Yeah, I know. But I'm just not happy with this. It doesn't look right. Especially this back bit here, it sort of bows out there. Really exaggerated, but it sort of all comes along flat and then it bows out there. I wonder whether that mold might be slightly wrong. Or even there's a... I'm not even sure whether this piece here is even supposed to be on there. I don't know if that's a piece that's meant to be cut out. Let me show you what I mean. If I can get it in focus. So we're looking at the top. Let me see where I am. let me just double check where I am again. So there's a piece there at the end of that, just there. To me, I'm wondering, looking at the way it's marked, whether that's actually meant to be cut out, whether that's part of the sprue. That little section there looks to me as though it's part of the sprue. And it's got the same, the other side, a very small, I don't know. Let me have a look at the instructions again, see whether... No, so it is supposed to stay there. That's... Right. Okay, so let's get this landing gear wheel in. What are we at? 1:18. Half 2. We've got about half an hour before I need to... So let's try and get this landing gear wheel in, and then we can try and get this all buttoned up. Well, that's in the wrong place. That's better. Yeah, and then that actually comes down like that. I'll see how that goes now. We'll get the reminder to put that cover back on. And this, of course, no, that's not right. So we'll put, can I get that on now? Let's just get a bit of I will, of course, go back over these paints where it's scratched and come off from where I've been handling it. Right, landing gear. So we need number 60, 61, 62, 63, 58, 59, 56, from number 56 to 63, all inclusive, 56 to 63. Right. I'm just looking at the sprues in the case there. That looks like a rear. Right, that's not it. Wow, we've got some 63, that's 64. Some of these bits, now these bits haven't been cleaned up. So we might not get as far as buttoning up as I'd hoped. So let's just take them off. Oh, missed it. And then we're looking for, what did I say, 56 to 63? 56 to 63, yes. And we're looking for two tiny 56, 57, there we go. Two little connectors there. Right. And now I'm looking for have a look at another sprue. There's a lot of pieces left for a kit that's so far along. Well, at this stage anyway. One 32, 133. 121, 116. Come on. Yeah, being a real slot that one in there. They're not already out, are they? Hold on, what have we got here? Is that them? Let me just check that. I think that might be them. No, that's not them. Let's go back to this. It's not that either. That's them there. Yeah, 59, 58. I couldn't find them because on the sprue it's listed as 5A, not 58. Once I looked at a picture of the piece, quick process of elimination, these are quite badly flashed. As I will show you in a second. And I believe I'm just looking for but everything else there apart from 60 and 61. And that is an inner and outer wheel. '60 and 61. Come on, where are you? Inner and outer wheel. That could be 61. Pretty sure that's 61. Again, not labelled properly. And then all I'm looking for is a tyre now. There we go, I think that must be it there. Yeah, there. Right. So this is a good example of the level of flash on this kit. I'll show you. I need something with a black background. Where's the ding gone? Let's use that. So this just gives you an idea of the level of flash on this kit. Bear in mind, every part is like this. Even the tiniest ones have got this level on them. Let me just see whether it works better with the light off. There you go. I've got to go around that very carefully and remove. And like I say, that it's, you know, every part has it. Even the little wheels. If we just let me get a pair of tweezers to hold that, otherwise it's going to go missing. Oh, you know, it's all there. So I've now got to clean those up. So I'm not going to sit and clean these up while everybody watches, because that's just boring. There's nothing interesting to see in that. So I'll just have a quick look through the comments, and then I'll finish it off for today. Mr. Mini Dreams has just gone live, so you know, go and give his channel, go and have a look at Mr. Mini Dreams. He does cars, but he does more than just build cars. He takes them apart, he cuts them up, he makes stuff you wouldn't believe out of them. And his channel, if you're into cars, you would love Mr. Mini Dreams and what he does with his cars. And he's very passionate about them, and he's a first-rate modeler. So please go and give him a look. He's live now. Let's just have a quick look. Jan's put in almost finished, I see. You wouldn't believe there's hundreds of parts still on the sprue. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, yeah, the wings and the landing gear, but there's just you know, I've made spinners and things like that, yeah, and I've got two big sprues with loads of different parts on. Another big one there. Another big sprue there. Another two in there. So I just don't know where all these parts are going to go. I'm reckoning maybe there's some for different versions, because I can see at least 2 sets of propellers in that lot. Yeah, model making guru explains the fit issue. Yes. Then again, once you get around that, it'll be hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, it will certainly be worth it, because it comes with a stand as well, which I really like, and I think it will look really nice once it's all together. But we'll wait and see. It's whether I can display the engine or not. As it stands, I don't think I can display that engine because it just looks a mess. So, you know, I don't think I've got the skill necessary to convert that into something beautiful at the moment, engine-wise. It needs something severe doing with this front section here. It needs cutting, gluing, and sort of scratch building. I've never scratch built anything. It's a task I've yet to learn. Best to use a gloss black paint or gloss black primer. Yeah, I see what. So I don't know what's been going on with the primers, but if you're putting metals down, I always use a gloss black primer. I know. Yeah, you don't have to prime and use and then go down with another gloss black over it. I've never tried using like a pledge finish. Just call it one shot, like number one shot, or one SHT, or one SP. Thanks, Joe. You know, hope so. I got your message, by the way. I can't remember whether I replied or not. I saw your message. I didn't reply. That was it. You sent me a message. I didn't reply. I've been so busy with problems on the channel and everything. But I forgot all about the chess game as well. You know, I'll get back to that. soon now, because everything's falling back to normal. There's no more admin team as such. So, you know, things will be back to normal, and we can get back to playing chess, and hopefully your creativity will return. I found I'd done my remember I said I'd had an idea for a logo. Well, I found them. I dug them out. I did manage to find them, so I hadn't done nothing. And I will send them to you. I took a photo of them. They're not brilliant. They're not brilliant. I'm not an artist or anything like that, but it gives you an idea of the sort of thing I was thinking of. Anyway, I'll send them to you. Yeah, I know. I wouldn't expect you to be chasing around doing stuff like that at the moment, anyway. But I'm okay to send them, and you can have a look at them. Give me your point. Give me your input, what you think to them. So you should come in the hangout, Joe, one night. Then you ain't got to type, because you can, talk. Right, so I think that is about it for today. I will get these cleaned up and sorted out. And when we come back next time, we will hopefully get this buttoned up. By then, I might have more of an idea what I'm going to do with these. And we'll go from there. So, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been informative. I've certainly enjoyed the company, and I've certainly enjoyed the fact that you're all having a chat. You're talking with each other. That's great. That's what the channel's all about. And yeah, thanks for watching.